So what advice do I have for any of you little boys and girls out there that would like to get your life crime? I'd say whatever's in your heart. If you're gonna be a cook, be a good cook, and be one of those few gangsters out there that's really a gangster. What does it mean to really be a gangster? Being a gangster isn't about shooting people. Being a gangster isn't about not gangster. Going to prison is not gangster at all. Going to prison is gay. It leads to homosexual activities. There's no freedom. It's no fun. People are in prison. They got caught. They're stupid. That's the mark of a bad criminal. There's prisons full of bad criminals. Don't be one of those. Certainly, I'd like to discuss that. Now, the most gangster-ass motherfucker in the world is a gangster that nobody knows is a gangster. Remember back in the day, and I'm going to use Sammy the Bull Cavano. And in his early days, yes, I know he was a rat. In his days at Sammy the Bull, he wasn't wearing no $1,000 Italian suit. He ran around in a hoodie tee and sweatshirt, like the average guy. In Flash, you wanted to pick this guy out from anybody. He looked like the average Joe. The least most likely person to ever be out committing a crime. So certainly if you're a drug dealer, right? When you're selling drugs, don't ever wear the drug dealer suit. It says, hey, I'm selling drugs, look at me. So you can't wear the Nike Cortez. So if you're gonna be really gangster, then you really can't dress gangster, or else you're just being prankster. You're gonna want to be that bad crime. Bad crime is jail. Jail's when you're, in my eyes, the definition, you're not a good criminal. You got played by the game. Why we commit crimes? Well, a lot of us have this side of us that really doesn't like to be told what to do, that defies against rule and convention, and it says, it doesn't serve me to get a job, doesn't serve me to, follow the rules. We just don't like doing what the fuck we're told. In fact, there's a side of us that when they tell us not to do something, we, for some reason, have to do it. Don't step in the grass. For example, when I was a little kid, my parents told me, they said, don't step in the grass. I had to step in the grass. And even though I learned because I'd get my ass whooped in front of my parents, well, I remember very specifically, I'll share this with you. And my father was, this was before I knew how to read, and I was stepping in this guy's yard, and there was this little sign there, and my dad said, you can't step in that grass. See, there's a sign right there that says, don't step in that grass. And I said, what do you mean I can't do that? You can't step in the grass. There's a sign there that says, don't step in the grass. So that means you don't, because that person's telling you not to, because they don't want you to screw up their yard or whatever. And that's, that's laws. And my dad wanted to be the good law-abiding kid. And so I said, well, what do you mean I can't? And because it just didn't make any sense to me. Because no matter what that sign said, I still could step in that grass. And we argued for a good 10 minutes on that. And he basically got mad at me and he said, well, you know what, you step in that grass, I'm whooping your ass. And that made sense to me. Okay, well, so my dad, he left. He was a few blocks away every day that I lived in the neighborhood. I went back and I trampled that grass every chance I got. I do know that doing the exact opposite of what you're told is a form of control also, but we'll get into that later. Now, basically, when we follow rules, when other people tell us what the purpose of our life is and what we are supposed to do and what we can and can't do, when we abide by it, it becomes an agreement in our mind. And agreements are very powerful things. An agreement is things like white boys can't laugh. White boys can't rap. Really. Well, fuck that. Fuck you, fuck your moms and pops. These bombs I drops. You can call the cops. I never stops. You know what I be villainous, the most illness, cat killingest, drug dealingest, never dealing with. Your reality is this. I'm a pinoid, I devoid of anything proper. This is my brain on drugs. That's eggs flying, people's whiting. We're trying, raw defying. About size, I won't lie, can't hit the bottom of the tuna can, but hit both sides, eyes wide. AK-47 is my choice of weapon? Yeah, white boys can't rap. But again, for the longest time, I never rapped. And you know, I started rapping other people's songs. I always try to sing people's songs. I still can't do it. As much as I practice my own, you know, I think I always, you know, it's a practice is what I do, but until I sung my own song. Wasn't until I sung my own song, man.